Welcome to our class. This is GBS English, Advanced English 1. We're going to be talking about Jazz English Unit 5 today, about sofa time. So we're going to talk about what pastimes are, what talents really are, and what the differences are between American culture and Korean culture. So stay right there. All right, let's talk first about watching television as a pastime. We've mentioned before that when you're doing a hobby requires energy. A pastime is something that you do that doesn't require a lot of energy and usually just requires you to sit in one place and turn your brain off and go, duh. Watching television and listening to music, these are both great examples of pastimes. In America, there's a lot of different television shows and movies that people watch. And people like to talk about the different movies. Have you seen this movie? What about this one? Hey, you should watch this one. So there's a lot of different movies that are available and different types. Movies have different genres and different things. Sometimes they even take the movie and change the sex in the movie, meaning it used to be a movie with a male character and now it's a movie with a female character. So movies can be very exciting and so can TV shows. I highly recommend that you find one TV show, any show that you want, and you start watching it frequently. The more you watch it, the more you listen to English, the better your English will get. So make sure that you are watching and looking at movies because this will improve your listening skills. Well, let's get into talking about talents now. In Korea, talents refer to anybody that gives, who's an actor, who's a movie star, who goes and does music. These are all talents here in Korea. Talents actually refer to, in English, a skill that you may have. Now, in America, we usually would call them entertainers. So entertainers can be somebody who's an actor or a musician, comedian. Comedians are what we call gag man in English. So a talent does not necessarily mean a special person. It means some skill that you have that you can share and entertain other people. So a talent is not the same in English. Korean talents are movie stars, actors, and musicians. In English, we would call them an edutainer or an entertainer, and I am an edutainer. So this is the difference between talents in America and talents in Korea. Okay, now we got one more thing we need to talk about: television. It's very important. Here in Korea, television pretty much shows the same programs all day, every day. The joke among foreigners is that if you haven't seen the TV show at least 10 times in a month, just wait, it'll be on TV again. In America, we have special times of the day that certain shows are slotted to be watched. We have the morning commute time, which is usually devoted to news and good morning or talk shows. The early morning or the late morning, early afternoon is usually dedicated to soap operas, which are dramas, and game shows. After we get past the early morning and early afternoon, we usually move into afternoon cartoons. Now, cartoons are moving out of television. We have so many television programs that are added to Cartoon Network and other cartoon dedicated shows and the internet that we don't have cartoon shows as often anymore. But from about 2 o'clock in the afternoon to 5 o'clock, this is usual cartoon time. We also have prime time. Now, prime time television is when the main shows that are new are showed on television. This starts about 5 o'clock in the evening and goes until 8 or 9 o'clock at night. Now, primetime television includes popular shows that are new. It also includes the news programs. News usually airs once for 30 minutes about local news and 30 minutes about national news, and it does it for 1 hour during prime time. There's a repeat of both those news broadcasts after prime time, which is in the next category, which is early or late night television. Now, it used to be in the past, television used to end at midnight or 1 a.m. So from 1 a.m. on, there was nothing on TV. Now, with the invention of the internet and cable television, you have access to the television all day long. Some of the shows that are aired during prime time or aired during earlier times, they're available at late night. Late night, you will also find infomercials. An infomercial is just like a commercial. Commercials are very short, usually 30 to 60 second time slot, trying to get you to buy a product. But an infomercial is the same idea, but for a 30-minute time period. So there are a lot of different ways to watch television in America. We're down to the last part. Let's talk about the big differences between American broadcasting and Korean broadcasting. I've already mentioned several of them. The fact that television usually is set and works at different times in America as it does here in Korea. But one of the big differences comes with soap operas. Well, why are they called soap operas and not dramas? Well, they are dramas, but soap operas have been around a long time. If we turn the way back meter and go back to the early days of radio, this is when we didn't actually have television. All the shows were done through the radio. And when we had the radio, people would have to sit and listen to the show. Well, during these shows, they would have commercials that were usually about detergents and other soaps. So during that time, they became soaps because the commercials were usually about soap. But why operas? Well, it was kind of a joke when it first started out because operas are very long and dramatic and there's so many changes. So the term became a soap opera. And this is what we would call most dramas in America. Soap operas in America are the same shows, same characters, week after week. And they usually have not great stories, but they have continuing stories. Some of the soap operas have been around for a very long time. Now, the difference between soap operas and primetime, soap operas are usually showed, as I mentioned before, in the daytime, early afternoon, late morning. And primetime is shown in the evening. The difference is, primetime usually is shown one show a week. Soap operas can show as many as 5 shows in a week. So soap operas are a little bit more frequent. All right, so that's about the differences in television. Oh, one more big difference. And that's the difference between how people watch television. Here in Korea, it's very common to go sit, watch the television, and you watch it as a group. It's the same in America. What you watch on television depends on who you are and what your family or the people you're with like. Some people like watching TV and doing other things. This is where TV dinners began. People would eat their food while they were watching television. So, television, it's been different. It has entered all of our lives, and now television has moved to the internet. All right, this week we've talked about many different things. We're about ready to wrap it up. We've talked about how watching television is a pastime. It doesn't require a lot of energy, but it's where you relax and spend your time. We've talked about what the difference between American talents and Korean talents are. We've also talked about primetime television and the different other times that we have to watch television. And last, we've talked about soap operas and where they come from, the differences between Korean television and English television. Thank you very much. I'll see you in class this next week.